Osibanjo has reportedly tested negative to coronavirus. That's according to his media aide, Laolu Akande. According to him, an official statement about the development will be issued by the Vice President's office soon. Yesterday, Laolu had tweeted that his principal was in self-isolation after the Chief of Staff to the President, Abba Kyari, tested positive for the coronavirus. On the foreign scene, there is panic buying in South Africa as people stock up on food and other essentials ahead of a lockdown tomorrow. The country has the largest number of confirmed coronavirus cases on the continent, with 554 cases recorded. The number of new infections and deaths is rising fast across Africa in spite of lockdowns, curfews, and travel bans. France says it will send special aids to the most vulnerable countries, many of which are in Africa. And that's the wrap of the news update at 1. Business Today comes up next with Wealth and Kalada. Just stay with us. Thank you for listening.
Today's news, today's entertainment, today's sports, today's issues. Today on Today95.1 FM, Port Harcourt.
Have you heard that coronavirus has been confirmed in Nigeria?
My brother, don't panic. The Federal Ministry of Health and Nigeria Center for Disease Control have advised that everyone should do the following to stay safe.
Tell me.
Wash your hands regularly with soap under running water. Use hand sanitizer if there is no water. Cover mouth with bent elbow or tissue when you cough or sneeze. Dispose the used tissue and wash your hands immediately. Avoid touching eyes, nose, mouth with unwashed hands. Clean and disinfect frequently touched objects and surfaces such as door locks, tables, and chairs.
You don't mean it.
Avoid close contact with sick persons or anybody coughing or sneezing.
Please, Mary, what are the symptoms of coronavirus?
Any person infected with coronavirus can have fever, cough, difficulty in breathing, and shortness of breath.
Don't panic. Coronavirus is preventable. If you have traveled to any country with reported local or community transmission, stay indoors and away from people for 14 days. If you develop any of the symptoms mentioned above, call the Nigeria Center for Disease Control NCDC toll-free line 0800-97000010. Share information about coronavirus only from verified sources like the Federal Ministry of Health, the Nigeria Center for Disease Control, and the World Health Organization WHO. This message is from the Nigeria Center for Disease Control NCDC, the Federal Ministry of Health, and partners.
Every day on Today 95.1 FM, there's always an opportunity to comment and air your views on our various programs. It's not just about us, it's about you, your opinion, and your voice.
President, don't you think that it's time to step down, sir?
Be part of the story, the gist, reactions, intrigues, and the news.
President Neil Patrick Harris has called for greater regulation.
Give us a feedback or join the conversation on Twitter at TodayFM951. Our Facebook address is Today95.1 FM, or join us on the number 0701-933-9962. That's our WhatsApp application. Be informed, be educated, and have fun. We are Today 95.1 FM, voice of the people.
Today is business. Today is a new trend for your businesses. We give you all the information you need to grow your business, new ideas and innovations that keep you earning more and staying relevant.
Every day, we engage in business, buying and selling, trading, and exchanging of services as individuals or as a country. Money goes round, it goes up and down. But have you ever wondered what business is all about? And have you ever wondered how you can stand out in your business?
Today FM has got you covered in this all-new program, Business Today, every Wednesday between the hours of 1 p.m. to 2 p.m.
Learn all you need from professionals on how the country runs its business affairs and how you can be an outstanding entrepreneur and grow your business.
Business Today, every Wednesday between the hours of 1 p.m. to 2 p.m.
On Today 95.1 FM. 95.1 FM.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, mothers and fathers, it is time for us to talk business.
All right.
On radio.
The people of Port Harcourt, welcome. Welcome to business today. I don't know what is happening. I don't know if she's been infected, but she's acting strange.
Infected with happiness.
Okay, that's a good one. That's a good one.
Yeah,
anyway.
that's the thing, you know.
All right, but guys, good afternoon, everybody. Good afternoon, Bolu. Good afternoon, Kalaja.
Good afternoon, Will.
And good afternoon to myself.
All right.
You just greeted yourself right now.
All right. Okay. Enough of the compliments and enough of the compliments. I hope you all are staying safe. I hope you all are, keeping your social distance. All right, ensure that you're safe out there and you properly sanitize your hands. Coronavirus is real. I can attest to that now. Very real, very, very real. Wash your hands properly and continuously and ensure that you keep your environment clean. Ensure that you keep your environment clean. It's better to be safe than sorry.
I mean, they say prevention is better than cure, and that's what we've been preaching all week. So apparently, if you still don't believe it, as I would say, just make sure that you
Just
abide
follow
by
the
the
guidelines.
precautionary measures. Yeah, you don't necessarily have to believe that it's in the country, but at least maintain good hygiene.
Believe, I've been coughing.
But please believe.
I've been coughing.
But without much ado, let's dive straight into what we have for you on business today. We bring you a lot of information, in the Nigerian economic and business terrain, and we'll be telling you what's going on in Africa economically, and then hopefully you stay informed, and then we get your opinion on everything we bring up on the show.
All right, let's start with the reports that there is panic buying
In South Africa.
not just South Africa, even in Nigeria. Even Nigeria, because Lagos State has called for a partial close down on markets and has said shops on streets are supposed to be closed, bringing it to Abuja. Abuja has also ordered the close down on markets, and everybody is saying, oh, how are we going to survive? And bringing it to Port Harcourt, oil mill market is closed.
Yeah.
And I'm wondering, there is the panic buying right about now. What do you guys think about this? Yeah.
Well, first of all, in a situation where there's panic buying, it is the most vulnerable who suffers, which is people who do not have enough money to stock up as much as others will.
Okay.
And now in situations where, petty markets or markets where petty or average Nigerians can go and, gather few things is closed down, then I'm wondering what the fate of the country would be like, because everybody would have fear in them, right?
Yeah.
I mean, apparently in Port Harcourt right now, I had the opportunity to talk to a few ladies and all of that, and they were all surprised at the fact that the market would not, open and there would be no sales today. And a lot of them are scared because they don't have money that they could, gather stuff from
Does this
supermarkets
also
and all.
imply that prices are going to be hiked and all? Because in Nigeria, once there's
That's what comes
scarcity,
to market. That's it.
once there's scarcity, everything just goes off the roof.
That's the
Prices
law
already.
of supply and demand.
All right.
Right?
No,
The
no.
higher the demand, the higher the price.
Supply, yeah, but I do feel like the government needs to play a part to make sure that people don't hike these prices too much.
What are you talking about? The
Especially
government closed the markets.
No.
Let me give you this. Let me give you an instance now.
Okay.
Bolu. Now, see, you have perishable goods, right? You have the tomatoes, you've got fish,
Yeah.
you've got meat, and you're selling. And where you make your money is when people come in droves to buy those
get them.
things that you're selling, and within yourself that if you don't sell it that day, it might perish.
Okay.
And you also know that you can make so much profit from increasing the price because people are rushing.
To get them.
Would you want to listen to government's directives? That's
No,
one way to look
it's
at
not
it.
what you want to. It has to be by force, almost by force. I mean, government has to make sure that these
That's
people.
That is why it's essential for the government of today to set up a committee that would man various operations in the
Yeah.
state. I mean, it's
Yeah.
not just having people check who comes into the state, right, on the state land and sea borders. We also need people who would make sure that the market association does
All
not
right.
hike price,
just regulate
right?
things.
Yeah.
You know, in other countries, they have reduced the cost of data for network providers and even satellite TV.
We're still bringing that up now.
I don't know where, but
Even satellite TV. That in a way shows you that other countries are trying to, regulate prices of things and make isolation, staying at home, more comfortable for people. Because if we don't do these necessary things, people might not find this funny. I mean, we have.
But we're looking at the economic implications of this now. How are Nigerians going to go about this? How are we going to pull through? How are we going to survive? Because yet again, you mentioned a very salient point where you say enough people don't have enough money. Now, we need to go back to that line. Now, enough people don't have enough money. So how do we go by this situation? Because one, like I said, the few that will or might be open will have to increase prices because Nigerians are just sometimes wicked beings. And then I said, go. You can fight me if you want. But then again, how are they going to survive? Will the government begin to, is it the time now for government to really, CBN more particularly, to release that 1 trillion naira and say, okay, every home, every house, or we supply you food, or I mean, this is food economics right now because it looks like a downtime.
Number one, we need to see a price regulation. We have to be sure that nobody is overbuying any goods. Not by that I mean having one person buy a particular foodstuff
but markets are going off. So don't you think I might want to stock my one full bedroom with cartons of stuff?
Now that's panic buying, and that's the fear we don't want in everybody, right? And then the next thing I will also want to ask is, do we feel that what the River State government has done, that's the order to close the market, is a good one?
We're coming to that now. It's a good question. You've asked the question already. I think it's good and bad.
Good and bad.
Now, you see, the thing with our leaders is they don't really care about the people. Did I say that? Yeah, I did. They don't really care about the people. And I'll tell you what I mean. Now, for example, you put in out policies, you put in out measures. But in as much as those measures are good, are you trying to cushion the effect? Because you don't just transition. You don't just carry somebody from one place to another. We are putting a cushion where the person, even if the person falls, he wouldn't. Thank you very much. Would have soft landing. So you're putting in measures. You're closing the airport, for instance. You're closing markets, for instance. What have you put in place? You're saying, everybody stay at home. What economic policy have you put in place to ensure that the people do not suffer? Let's take it to Canada. Let's take it to America. Let's take it to the UK. Let's go to China. These people were having relief. First of all, in Canada, you don't get to pay house rent for 3 months. You get to receive stipends as a way to get go because certain essential like malls and certain people were still open, so you can still buy stuff. So and then you get delivery, what do you call them now? Online delivery services. But we don't have those in Nigeria. And even if you do, they are not efficient.
You see, the thing is, I do feel that somehow, as we've always hammered, Nigeria may likely not be able to contain all the implications that would come with the coronavirus at the time.
And we predicted
And then somehow it's beginning to play out, because now if you look at it, yesterday we were talking about the close down of schools. What is the next step for students, pupils, people who would have to complete the school curriculum to make sure that they are not behind on their educational calendar, right? Now, do you have internet provisions? Do you have TV provisions to make sure that teachers or people who are into, and all of common air and teach kids, and then school continues for them.
We could start
now.
I mean, on a very serious note, I'm not joking.
We could start it.
We giving back to society.
We could start it, but how many of those children have access to TVs and electricity?
But they all have access to radio,
electricity,
radio. Radio.
The radio, right? The radio. Now, remember that the radio can also be, private investment for somebody, right? And that person may likely not want to release their time.
That's why I say giving back to society, because this is the time where everybody sacrifices.
That comes in, sacrifices and all. But then the government had, I feel like when the River State government said that they were responsive, right? Somehow I just, giggled, because I expect
so you're
that
giggling at our government.
No, I do expect that for a responsive, or for any responsive government, before anything happens, you would have had a foresight and made certain
No,
don't you feel like
preparations.
that's what they're doing
Hold on,
right now?
hold on, yeah.
No. Let me pause you now. You're mixing up your terms now.
No,
Wait.
hold on.
Responsive means you're responding to, and that's what they've done.
Hold on,
But
hold on.
proactive in what you're trying to imply.
Hold on.
I mean,
yeah.
I don't think.
Proactive and responsive at the same time. Okay, I'm guessing that's what I want here. All right. So I feel that before this escalated to this point where people, markets will have to shut down, schools will have to close down. Everything has to slow down.
Plan.
Yet there should have been some sort of sustainable plan for the time being. Because right now we're going to suffer, not just economically, but everybody will suffer on every level psychologically and sometimes even physically.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's bring it to River State now. So we have oil mill market closed, and that would mean some other markets will have to follow. Oil mill market is closed because of the traffic it generates. People coming from outside the states to trade and sell and buy at oil mill. But then again, there are other big markets, the Mile 1 market, Creek Road market, we have Toba market, we have markets. The point is, we are gradually getting to the point where there might just be a lockdown of markets. We predicted this, and now we're seeing oil mill. So what is the economic implication for this now, yeah?
Well, first of all, as I said, a lot of persons are already panicking.
All right.
So which would mean that anybody who has access to any place where they can buy any sort of good, service, or just purchase anything, they would buy it in bulk. All right. And that would mean spell doom for people who are who cannot afford that panic buying.
I'm one of those people who can afford panic buying right now.
On the one hand, this is a good move. On the other hand, for the average man, it may likely not be a good one.
You know what? I feel it's a good move, but it's too drastic because people have not had the time to, really look at how they can do things.
But it leaves the government no choice.
Now there will be panic.
There
will be panic buying now. You can't take that away from.
Okay, let me pause you there. Sorry, he's made a point there. Bolu's made a fantastic point because, like I said, the government should have put measures in place first. So what about the governor had gone out and said, you know what, we're giving 3 days. 1
or something,
and then 2, we're giving 100,000 to every Rivers indigene or every Rivers resident. Come collect. I'm going somewhere. You know why I'm saying this? This is war. I see this as World War 3. I said it on Saturday. Or yesterday? I can't remember. I see this as World War 3, and this is why I do. Now, this is war, and every state has got security votes. Rivers State has got the second or the highest I can remember now security votes in Nigeria. This is war. So why don't you use that security vote? Because when there is panic buying, it means insecurity is high because I would have to survive. And if it means me stealing and breaking into shops, I will do that. And remember, the IGP said, police, no unnecessary arrest.
Yeah, unnecessary arrest.
So now, if I were VK, GSSROS, COS, POS Africa, what I would have done, is bring out that security vote and say every Rivers indigene 100,000 naira.
Isn't that misappropriation of
not misappropriation?
No. Somehow it's
now
not.
you can now go and you get to the marketplace, you buy and buy according to how your family.
But people would
use.
still panic buy whether they if
there is no panic buying. You've given 3 you've given 3 days. You've given 5 days. Government is giving you money. Government is there's tax force and people are out there trying to control situations.
See, all of this close down would have not been necessary if our marketplaces were at least clean and properly constructed. Do you get what I'm trying to say? I mean, there's certain marketplaces you go to and you would notice that the stalls are, quite
arranged
spacious,
and there's enough
orderly, it is neat and all of that. And you understand that there is good hygiene in a place where you come to buy eatables, right?
Yeah.
So if that was already in place, probably we wouldn't have to immediately lock down markets.
As you're entering the marketplace, you wash your hands with sanitizer,
and you sanitize, you walk in, get what you want, and walk out.
Yeah.
But the point is, we don't have that here now in Nigeria. So what can we?
But we can create. That's what she's saying.
Right about now, there is. That's the point. We don't have the time.
I don't like the fact that you are a non-believer.
No, I'm not
listen now. China builds a hospital in 7 days. I always make that reference.
China.
We are not building. Wait. We are not building a new market.
Okay.
This is just putting, like she said, what is there to put washing hand basins in front of every stall?
The structure of the markets alone ensure that people get to touch each other while trying to shop for
we
things.
can change all of
the
that.
problem. We don't.
Some people will stay at home.
That time.
Oh, anyways, let's not argue this for too long. Okay, let's do that.
All right. While we're still talking about what's going on because of the coronavirus, I think it's important that we get to understand the manufacturing index record for the month of March, since we're doing business today. All right, so the manufacturing index records a slow growth in March. The Central Bank of Nigeria's manufacturing purchasing managers index, that's the PMI, stood at 51.1 index points in March, indicating an extension in the manufacturing sector for the 36th consecutive month. However, the index grew at a slower rate when compared to February. The Central Bank of Nigeria disclosed this in its PMI report for February 2020, which was posted on its website yesterday. Now, according to the report, of the 14 surveyed subsectors, 7 recorded growth above 50% threshold. Now, in the month of review, in the following order: transportation equipment, petroleum and coal products, furniture and related products, food, beverages and tobacco products, cement, fabricated metal products and plastics, rubber products. However, the electrical equipment, primary metal, non-metallic mineral products, paper products, textile apparels, leather and footwear, and pharmaceutical products, subsectors of all recorded products witnessed a decline.
So January there was a decline.
In the month of March there is a decline as compared to February.
January, that's what we generally there was a decline.
Yeah,
that's bad news.
Of course,
that's bad news. Yeah,
that's bad news.
Even though we expected it's bad news.
Yeah, that's bad news. Following the projection from the UN and the IMF that Africa might likely fall into recession if our production and manufacturing sector is witnessing a decline already. Now, I wonder how deep into that recession we might be falling into.
I kind of think the CBN is doing so much to ensure palliatives for this, because I saw the headline where I think it was captioned that they are retaining the MPR. That's the what's it again? The monetary policy ratio. Is that what it is? Monetary policy rate, at 13.5%. So if they are doing it according to the CBN governor, that would mean that banks don't have to increase the interest on their lending. When they lend, they call it lending rates. They don't have to increase the interest. At the same time, they don't still get to reduce it, but it's just there. It's just there, and so money is still there in circulation. And I feel like that's good news for me. Because while we're having all of this deficit, we have the CBN putting in measures, but I really, really, really hope that this is the time where the 1 trillion or trillion naira gets to be put into society, so you and I can benefit from it.
Into society, you mean like just shit to?
It's not shit. They know how to do it. They do it through the banks. They know how just to make sure money is flowing and businesses don't get to crumble and businesses stay afloat. Because if you're saying
we just have an economy.
Yeah. If you're saying total lockdown, you're saying that money should,
people wouldn't go to work and money might not be in circulation.
Exactly the point. So okay, let's do that one as well.
All right, so still talking about the coronavirus, we have here a report from Bloomberg that oil's 60% crash is the tip of an iceberg. The reality is worse, and that's coming from Bloomberg. Now,
did you see the post? Was it yesterday or 2 days ago where Nigeria said they might stop oil production because of
spending more producing than
you saw that, right? So doom.
All right. So according to Bloomberg, they say as oil crashes due to the coronavirus, it is easy to overlook an even more dismal reality for producers. The real prices they're getting for the barrels are worse still. Now, moving to where Nigeria is involved, they say Nigeria, the biggest oil producer in Africa, is selling its flagship Koibo crude at a discount of $3.10 a barrel. Now, that's below the dated Brent benchmark.
Whoa.
What lessons can we learn? Is it time for us to put refineries, or time for us to actually diversify? Oh, my, you're in the spirit. I really want to know. What do you guys think?
I feel like we should have diversified long time
ago. Bolu should have is not part of this conversation. We are here now.
Right now.
We are here now.
The whole world, you have to understand something right now. The whole world is in crisis right now. We can't begin to diversify.
See,
we don't have enough funds as a country to diversify. Have you
heard the saying that in the midst of so much darkness comes light? Have you heard the saying? I'm not trying to be a motivational speaker now. Have you heard that in the space of much pain like I'm feeling right now comes so much happiness?
And do you also know that
like
psychological